Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz from the Search Engine Roundtable. This is the news we covered over the past week at seroundtable.com, the Search Engine Roundtable. We are doing the live broadcast over here. The questions are behind me, and hopefully we'll have some interesting questions as we go through this broadcast. Today is April 30th, Friday, and this Monday and Tuesday I will be at the Social and Search Summit over in Florida. That's run by Lauren Baker and his team, so that should be fun if you're there. Hopefully I'll be seeing you. Otherwise, I'll be back Wednesday. The search news will continue, and we'll get started right now. The big news this week, in terms of updates, I guess, and it's not such big news because it's Yahoo. Yahoo announced that they're doing a search update. What this means is that Yahoo does a monthly update where they say on their Yahoo search blog that they are updating their algorithms, their index, and stuff like that, and you might notice some shuffling in their search index. So if you do searches at Yahoo, that might fluctuate a bit over the next few days and change. The thing is, usually when Yahoo does an update, at least several months ago, the webmaster community knew several days in advance. They discuss things that are happening, and they notice changes in their search rankings and stuff like that. In the past few months or so, ever since Yahoo has been declining in their search market share and all the Bing news from Microsoft, a lot of webmasters haven't cared, haven't noticed, and they haven't really discussing this. So we haven't seen any threads from webmasters saying, hey, Yahoo has increased or decreased in terms of search traffic being sent to my website, but at the same time, this has been the case since Yahoo search has declined. The question is Yahoo just trying to create buzz, or are they actually doing an algorithm update? If they are, why are they when Microsoft is actually taking them over in a few months by the end of this year? So that's the big question I have, and I'm not really sure if anybody has any questions regarding that, but have you guys seen any updates in terms of Yahoo search rankings? And if you have, do let me know, either via Twitter at RustyBrick or in the chat room. I see we have some people from the UK and the Philippines. Nice to have you here. But it seems like there's no questions regarding this Yahoo search update. If you want to learn more information about this, April 30th at seroundtable.com. The next algorithm type of update or news topic for this week was posted by me on April 29th, yesterday, at the Search Engine Roundtable. This involves Google dropping the UK filter, where it basically means that a lot of people are noticing that when you go to Google UK, google.co.uk, the Google UK search results, that the search results seem to be not really UK specific like it was in the past. About a year ago or so, a lot of webmasters were complaining that the UK results were very specific to UK, and the US people who were trying to rank well in the UK, in Google UK, were not getting those same rankings that they were in the past. Now it seems like they're kind of pushing back that filter, or at least according to some Webmaster World people. So it's pretty interesting to see what people are saying. Maybe it's just a bug in their system, and maybe it's coming back, or maybe it's come back already. But at the same time, it seems like a lot of people are reporting that the UK filter has been, I guess, pushed aside for a little bit. Maybe that will come back again. I don't know if it's a bug or not, or whatever. It's interesting because Matt Cutts did a video. Matt Cutts did a video over here just a couple days ago, where he posted in the Webmaster Central YouTube channel, where he talks about the status or the state of the UK index over at Google. If you want to learn more about that, you can definitely check out that video at seroundtable.com on April 29th. There's two major Google UI updates this week. One is officially live, and one Google is testing right now. And what you see here, and I'll put this in the podcast for those who are watching later, is that Google has been testing, or actually launched this new Pages Similar To feature. So now if you do a navigational type of query, for example, you search for the Search Engine Roundtable, or you search for Search Engine Land, or you search for any type of navigational-like query, Google will show you Pages Similar To, which is their related command, at the bottom of the search results. Google, I noticed this a couple days before they announced it, and Google officially launched it, I think yesterday, or 2 days ago, April 28th, where they said they launched this feature because they want to make it easier for people to actually find and discover relevant websites that are similar to the sites they're searching for in a navigational approach. So I'll show you this right now. Hopefully it's live. Do a search for Search Engine Roundtable, and I scroll down. You'll see at the bottom over here, Pages Similar To, and obviously it thinks my Search Engine Roundtable site is similar to Cartoon Barry, SearchBlog, TopRank, and Blogoscoped. And it's actually changed over the course of the day. It was actually different the other day. If I type in my company name, it brings up similar web development companies. If I type in Google, surprise, surprise, it does not bring up Yahoo or Bing or Ask.com. So there's another UI change that happened, and basically this is not officially live yet. What happened is that Google has changed their UI for when you do searches for, I guess, popular products like digital cameras, label printers, cheap laptops, stuff, anything related to product types of queries. Google is testing what they're calling brands for. So now if you do a search, for example, in digital cameras, you can see over here in my screenshot, in some cases they're actually testing at the top of the results brands for digital cameras, and they list out the brands such as Canon, Olympus, Sony, Kodak, and other types of brands that are popular to that. Obviously, for the smaller brands, this is obviously putting them at a disadvantage because they're putting these brands for these major brands all the way at the top of the search results, trying to get people to filter those searches for these generic types of product queries to popular brands, and obviously that might be a concern for some people. Google has confirmed that they are testing this. They haven't told me what the rationale is. I've been asking them, when is this going live? Why are they doing this? Do they think this is an impact to smaller businesses? So maybe that has gotten out there, but I guess we'll see soon. Yeah, so that's the new brands. We covered earlier the pages similar to feature, which is something you do a search navigational query. It shows you the pages similar to feature, and also we should just cover the brands for. So that covers the UI changes. Let's move over to a little bit of SEO topics in terms of Google. Google said this morning, I covered this, that Google, John Moo over at Google, said that not only are 410, basically if you want a page not to be found in Google and you want Google to remove the content, you would normally serve up a 404 status code in that page. So saying, Google, this page has not been found, please remove from your index. Google has been telling webmasters to use a status 410 for pages that you think will never come back to the index, like a permanent change where that page will never come back ever again. So Google said if there's a permanent change, use a 410. A 404 is not found, but Google will recheck that every so often. But 410 is more permanent. Google's also telling us now. John said this in the chat in the Webmaster Help Forum that Google will actually remove the content faster if you use a 410 over a 404. So that's something to know. So now a 410 is actually faster than a 404, and that might be useful for you guys to learn. On the Bing side of SEO, Microsoft Bing, we learned this week that we know that Microsoft Bing detects language differently than Google or Yahoo. Google typically will look at the content of the page, see where it's hosted and stuff like that to figure out the geo-target basis of that page. So if the content's in, UK English, Google will say, hey, this content should be served, this website should be served higher in the UK results as opposed to the US results. Bing doesn't work that way. Bing says they look at the meta tag and they say if the meta tag language key says UK, they will actually put you in the UK index. If it says US, it will show you in the US index. If it shows HE, it will show you in the Israeli index. So that's how Bing works, and obviously Bing and Microsoft, Google and Bing argue about how that should be handled. But I've been seeing time and time again that people accidentally put the wrong code in there and they don't show up in the search index they want to show up in. The thing is, if you do mess up and you do show the wrong meta language tag in your keywords, Microsoft says after 1 or 2 crawls that you should go ahead and be able to be found again in the right index. So if you are targeting the UK by accident, all you do is update your meta language tag from the UK to the US, and after 1 or 2 crawls, according to Brett Yunt over at the Bing forums, who is a Bing representative, after 1 or 2 crawls, you should be fine and set to go. Again, if you're in the chat room, anybody new in the chat room could definitely ask questions, and I will incorporate those questions into the podcast. You can do that either in the chat room or on Twitter at RustyBrick. Just send me a question as I go. All right, so the next topic for this week, next 2 topics are AdWords related. There was a major AdWords change in terms of how they handled the AdWords Professional organization. They're Google Certified AdWords Professionals, and now changing the name from the Google Advertising Professionals, which launched back in 2004, to what is called the Google AdWords certification program. This program is a bit harder to qualify for. They have two exams, one easy exam, one more complex exam. There's also a new logo, which you could maybe see. I'll bump it up over here so you guys can see it. And there's also new AdWords pricing. Here's the new logo. And there's also new AdWords pricing. The new AdWords pricing is more flexible and stuff like that. So this is a major change for the AdWords Professional program. They are going to be pushing more people to search the AdWords Professional program to find AdWords qualified representatives. And also, there's also differences. The differences is that in the old days, the individual test required one test, but this one obviously requires two tests. In the old days, a certified programmer had to qualify with 3 GAP professionals. Now you only need to have 1 GAP professional to be a qualified company, but you also have to spend at least, I think, $10,000 per quarter to qualify. And obviously the API changes. So that's something that you have to know. If you want to learn more about this, April 26th at seroundtable.com. Also on the AdWords sides, Google has been dropping or migrating their external keyword tool to the new beta, or no longer beta, but the new keyword tool. The new keyword tool has a different UI, has different features, missing some features of the old. I spoke with Google about this, I think 2 days ago, and Google told me that eventually, yes, they will be dropping the old keyword tool completely. It's still there if you want it, but if you now access the Google keyword tool, you'll be sent to the new Google keyword tool. But there is a link at the top right to the previous interface, which lets you access that previous interface. So if you are accessing it, you'll still be able to get the old interface, but at the same time, Google is migrating off that. We don't have an ETA as to when that will happen, but it will eventually happen. So be prepared for that. If you want more information, April 28th at seroundtable.com. Let's move on to the AdSense component of the show. We have 3 AdSense topics to discuss. The first one is the first time ever Google has told us that they have a number of publishers that they have in their AdSense program. Google said they have over 1 million. They didn't say exactly how many, but they said they have over 1 million AdSense publishers in their network. And there's a lot of discussion about what that means and how many are active, how many aren't active, and obviously we don't know. But on April 26th, we wrote a blog post about this, and there are over at least 1 million publishers in the AdSense network. Google is also trying new layouts. The new layouts for AdSense include basically what is a hyperlink followed by a description. It used to be hyperlink, and then under that, a breakpoint. Under that, there would be a description. So now it's like all on one line. I have some screenshots over here. In addition, Google has changed their featured ad from what used to be to show a featured ad. They used to have a little gold star. Now what they have is a light bulb, and I have some pictures of that over here as well. Somebody asked in the chat room a quick question: what's the Google caffeine status? When's it being rolled out? Honestly, Google has not given anybody an update on when that's going to happen. So we don't know officially what's going to happen, but I can tell you that a lot of webmasters believe that caffeine is really almost like 90% rolled out there right now. We did a post about this last week, and it's in my podcast from last week. But at the same time, Google has not confirmed anything. But it will be interesting to see how or when this is supposed to happen. I thought it would happen by now, but obviously something is holding Google back from saying that it's live. So I guess we'll see soon when that's happening. It's a good idea, and also drop links in here that's a good idea. The chat room asked me to drop links, so I just covered the AdSense that AdSense topic. Another AdSense topic. Another AdSense topic is that we noticed, and if you do a look in your analytics, you'll see that Internet Explorer users, people who are using IE 6, 7, 8, are more likely to click on your AdSense ads than people using Firefox, Chrome, or Safari. And I did a breakdown myself of people on my personal blog, and the likelihood, the CTR, of people clicking on my AdSense ads by browser is 6.44% are in IE, then it drops down people on Chrome are only 3.2% is the CTR over there, Safari 2.6, and Firefox 2.3. So there's a major change in the click-through rate by browser, and obviously IE6, maybe more people using IE or IE7 or IE8 are less savvy, are computer savvy, and more likely to click on those ads. So that's a pretty interesting statistic. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to discuss was Google Maps, a new change to Google, how Google Maps works. Basically, Google added a new feature, Earth View. Earth View is basically using Google Earth, but it's actually on the web. It's pretty cool. It lets you navigate Google Maps as you would in Google Earth. So it lets you fly in, go around, pan around, see things in a 3D view as you would with Google Earth. It's pretty cool. You should check it out. There's a little tab in the top right section that called Earth. That means since Google put Google Earth tab up there, Google has removed the terrain view from that major placement, and now the terrain view is hidden under the More button. So if you are missing the terrain view, it's under the More button at the top right, which I have a picture of over here. So you should definitely play with that. That should be pretty fun to use. For some reason, my URLs in the chat room are not working. I'm sorry. I wish they would. I don't know why they're not working. I apologize. But here is the Google Maps topic. Finally, we have two more topics. There are some people that reported last night around 3 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, that's basically New York time, that Google was down. I doubt Google itself was down, but I could not access Google, and there were literally hundreds and hundreds of people that were on Twitter saying they could not access Google. I even showed a little chart in Google's new Twitter search, which shows a huge spike around 3 to 3:30 of people reporting that or tweeting that Google is down. So really, I mean, it really was down. Google has not commented about that. We have no more information, but for a lot of people it was down. There was probably some node or network that was causing the issue, and Google itself was probably up, but the actual connectivity to Google was not that positive. Finally, it's Queen's Day in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and Google has a cute doodle up for that. It's it's actually celebrated tonight, starting about 7 p.m., and it goes out throughout the night. It's basically the birthday of Queen Juliana, because her birthday is actually tomorrow, but it's always celebrated on the 30th and not the 31st. So that pretty much is the video recap for the Search Engine Roundtable. That was the past news we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz. Today is April 30th, Friday, and hopefully we'll get this chat room, the live broadcast, and the podcast going more smoothly as time goes on. And thanks for bearing with us. And again, you can get this live at seroundtable.com/live on Friday mornings at about 9:30 in the morning. Just follow me at twitter.com/rustybrick to find out when we're broadcasting. And again, this is live, this will be podcasted or archived at seroundtable.com, in iTunes, also at YouTube. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.